and go ahead.
Right.
Pay attention to your pain. Reach out and find your comfort. Take a walk and play some music. Make the time to start the healing. Let the healing begin. Let the healing begin. Look to the sky and breathe it in. Look to the sky and breathe it in. Feel the sunshine on your skin. Feel the sunshine on your skin. And let your life resume again. And let your life resume again. Pay attention to your pain. Reach out and find your comfort. Take a walk and play some music. Make the time to start the healing. Let the healing begin. Let the healing begin. Look to the sky and breathe it in. Look to the sky and breathe it in. Feel the sunshine on your skin. Feel the sunshine on your skin. And let your life resume again. And let your life resume again. Pay attention to your pain. Reach out and find your comfort. Take a walk and play some music. Make the time to start the healing. Let the healing begin. Let the healing begin. Look to the sky and breathe it in. Look to the sky and breathe it in. Feel the sunshine on your skin. Feel the sunshine on your skin. And let your life resume again. And let your life resume again. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. And thank you for joining us here for our Zoom Sunday service, the Sunday service of Unity Spiritual Center of San Francisco. I'm glad you've all found us as we are staying connected during this time. It's wonderful to see your faces as always, and I think all of you who are here today are regulars. So you know already that if you see me looking over to the side, that means I'm scrolling through the gallery to see your faces. Know that I do keep you in my prayers during this time, and we are looking for new and different ways to stay connected. So as you know, you're being put on mute as you enter the meeting room. There are two exceptions to that. One is when I look for volunteers to read the daily word. I will ask you to indicate that by either putting it in the chat or waving at the webcam to let me know you'd like to do that. The other time that I take somebody off mute is when you want to share a prayer request during our spoken prayer time. If you want the community to pray with you, support you, and stand with you. But for now, just take a deep breath and relax. You've got here, and all you need to do in this hour is to go into your inner sanctuary where we are always safe, guided, and at peace, and let go of any worries or concerns as we connect virtually in community and with the God of our understanding. Here at Unity Spiritual Center, we celebrate the truth that our God is love, as expressed in Unity's foundation statement, which I invite you to say with me. There is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as my life, God the good, omnipotent. So take another deep breath now. Become comfortable, ever more comfortable, and gently release any cares of the day. Because the only thing you need to do right now is to open yourself up to the love and goodness of the divine as you relax into the sacred time and space of Unity Spiritual Center. For almost 75 years now, we at Unity Spiritual Center have celebrated and honored people of every culture, of every creed, of every religion, of every race, of every age, and every lifestyle, knowing that there are many paths to God, many faces of God, many names for God, but only one God. Seeing through eyes of oneness and acknowledging our oneness, we know that God indwells all people and is expressed through each of us in unique, special, individual ways. Unity offers positive, practical, progressive spiritual teachings and tools that honor the universal truth in all religions and respects each individual's right to choose a spiritual path. I'm going to light a new worship candle. We've gone through two during our time of sheltering in place. And we light this every Sunday so that you can see that flame and know that you yourself have a divine flame within, that you are a spark of God, an individualized expression of God, and that God does God's work in the world through the movements of your hands and your heart. Our vision here at Unity Spiritual Center and the opportunity for you and for each one of us here is that you discover the power within you to create the life of your dreams, that you have peace of mind and deep happiness, that you enjoy joyous and loving relationships with yourself, with spirit, and with others, that you do your days doing what you love and feel called to do. And most of all, that you know that your life matters, that you make a difference, and that the world is a better place because you're here. Let us pause now to hear a musical selection sung by our music director extraordinaire, Michael Hatfield.
And what we have in mind today is interesting. Interesting to me because I was reading about the fourfold way and the ways of the visionary. And one of the things they suggest you do is to create your own chant, your own. It doesn't have to actually have words. It can be an empowering phrase that is unique to you. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play what is in my little circle a very popular, what we call a chord progression that is very indigenous to the times that we're in the last 10 years. This particular progression has been used many times in songs, which is actually not a bad place to start because it will feel comfortable when you hear it and you'll be able to devise a melody to go with it. So you're all on mute. You can find a phrase, hum, you can sing or chant or just use a word or a sentence that works for you. So to give you clues what we're doing, it's going to sound a bit like this. And you could do something like this. Mm-hmm. I am strong. I am strong. I am strong. I am strong. I will get through this. Other people do this. I am strong. All right, it's your turn. I am calm. I am calm. I am calm. I am calm. This is all I have. This is all I have. It will have to do. And I played it all for you. That's it. You're on mute, Maggie. You were not. You muted. You sang along. You muted yourself. All right. Somebody follow my instructions.
That was awesome. That was
Thank
so
you.
awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And, you know, we're going to be talking about this in just a few minutes. So that was just perfect way to get us into the morning. And as always, if you want to express your appreciation to Michael, feel free to use the webcam or one of these nifty reactions that you can find on your Zoom. It was fun, wasn't it, Annette? And Scott, my husband, said very nice. You're getting the kudos as I speak right now, Michael. Thank you. So with that warm feeling in our hearts, just the realization that we can create our own power songs, that we can create mantras that have depth and meaning for us. Let's continue to get comfortable and relax more deeply into this time of prayer, meditation, and worship. And let us open our hearts to receive the message of today's daily word. I'm going to scroll and see if I've got any volunteers to read today's daily word. Anyone want to do that? I am hoping for a volunteer because I'm going to be talking too, and that's a whole lot of my voice. So yeah, we want to hear somebody else's. Kathy, we are going to hear the daily word read by our board president, Kathy Russell.
And it's a good word, especially after that lovely music, Michael. The word for today is love. I open my heart in love. I express the love I feel in my heart by showing my affection and giving nurturing attention. I speak loving, positive words that let those I care about know how much they mean to me. As my words affirm their goodness, beauty, and intelligence, I watch those qualities bloom like flowers blessed by sunshine. I extend my arms and embrace my family and friends with the warmth and comfort of unconditional love. I support my loved ones with the compassion and care on their journey through life. I share my wisdom as I teach, my experience as I advise, and my understanding as I console. I pray for those I love, knowing that the Christ within them is the light that guides them everywhere they go and in everything they do. I am grateful for my role in my loved ones' lives. And the scripture is from John chapter 3:18. Little children, let us love, not in word or speech, but in truth and action.
Thank you so much, Kathy. That was lovely. And as you were reading, I was thinking that if someone was feeling like they needed more inspiration for writing their power song or a power mantra, turning to the daily word and perhaps looking through it for words or phrases that are meaningful to you might be a way to begin to construct your power song. So now is the time to make our prayers audible. This is the time when we share our prayer needs with our spiritual family here so that we can support you and stand with you. As always, you are always welcome to send in a prayer request or to leave a message on our office phone. Jerry will put that contact information in the chat right now, my email address and our phone number, so that you can do that at any time and know that your prayers are being held by our community. But at this time, we're going to make our prayers audible. So if you would like to share a prayer request, then again, just note that by waving at your webcam or making a note in the chat. And we will respond to every prayer request by singing "Your Prayer is My Prayer Too," which Michael will now sing as we move into our time of audible prayer.
We are connected
by the heart. Where do you end? Where do I start? Whatever you feel, I feel too. You're a part of me, I'm a part of you. Your prayer is my prayer too. Your prayer is my prayer too.
We have a couple of prayer requests that have come in through the chat. One for a longtime member of our congregation, Betsy Ford, who is now living in a care facility. Yesterday was her birthday, so let's send her our love and our blessings, and see her happy and healthy and well.
Your prayer is my prayer too.
And speaking of happy, healthy, and well, Annette is asking for prayers for patience for all of us, as many of us are getting pandemic fatigue. So she is requesting that we hold on to patience, kindness, and understanding.
Your prayer is my prayer too.
And prayers for Lauren's friend who who got word yesterday that he tested positive for coronavirus and is now in 14-day quarantine.
Your prayer is my prayer too.
And Susan has a prayer that we move past the fear and have hope for our country's future.
Your prayer is my prayer too.
Ikea has a prayer for blessings for the publication of her book of poems, which many of us have heard and have been moved by. So let us join her in celebrating that and praying for that.
Your prayer is my prayer too.
And Valerie is asking for prayers that our air clears.
Your prayer is my prayer too.
And Adrienne is asking for prayers for her friend Brett, who has been diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's, and his wife Kay.
Your prayer is my prayer too.
Yeah, Juanita, go ahead.
Asking for prayers for all the firefighters and first responders that's helping us keep our lives together.
Yeah, thank you.
Your prayer is my prayer too.
And Ikea is also asking for prayers for the grandson of Debbie Walker, who is in ICU in Colorado.
Your prayer is my prayer too.
And Annette was seconding and adding to Juanita's prayer, prayers for all the people affected by the fires and for all the firefighters and first responders.
Your prayer is my prayer too.
And I'm going to scroll through and see if there's any last prayers that people would like to share with the community here. Joan, yeah, I'm going to unmute you. Oh, you, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to say a prayer for our governor. I think he is got such a monumental challenge here. And I feel like he's really stepped up to the plate. And
Yeah.
I'd like to pray.
Thank you, Joan.
Your prayer is my prayer too.
And Mary, you'll need to unmute yourself. There you go.
I pray for guidance in dealing with family members and others. When they seemingly go low, I pray for the guidance to go high from spirit.
Your prayer is my prayer too.
Anyone else have a prayer they'd like to share?
Ethel Tanquan has one in the chat.
Yes, thank you. That everyone votes in the upcoming election. Let your voice be heard. I think we all have that same prayer for sure.
Your prayer is my prayer too.
And as you know, we also have a time in our service where you're invited to share your blessings, things that you are thankful for, anything that you would want us to celebrate with you. Feel free to mention those things aloud as well. Any celebrations?
Hi, Joan here.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to thank everybody for their prayers for my brother, Len, who was recently diagnosed with neuroendocrine cancer with metastasis. He is doing remarkably well. He's responding to his chemo. His labs are good. He's feeling good. He has a few more rounds of chemo to go before a CAT scan, but we're expecting a kind of a good outcome where he can live quite a long time.
Oh,
Thank you. That was not our understanding when he was initially diagnosed, so we feel, very, very blessed. But I thank you for your prayers, and please keep praying for me.
thank you for sharing that, Joan. That's wonderful news.
It is. It is.
Anyone else? Susan is grateful for the life of her cousin Carol Jean, who transitioned at age 92, and she knows that she is with God and her dear mother and husband. And Annette is grateful for our health, our family and friends, and for our Unity family, our joy. Shirley, grateful to everyone who checked in on her on Tuesday, the day that we'll never forget, of the ominous orange skies. And aren't we grateful that the orange skies passed? We're still dealing with some poor air quality, but boy, weren't we grateful for the return of light? It made such a big difference the next day, didn't it?
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And I also want to give thanks to Mary and Ivy, two people who are relatively new to our congregation, who were expressing their gratitude for being part of our community. And I just want to let you know that we are so grateful that you have found us and that you are part of our community now. And we're grateful for this opportunity to be able to bless and be blessed in spirit, to pray for others. It's a privilege. to be able to pray for the beloveds of our beloveds, people in our community, people in our nation, and people in our world. And we know that despite the fact that right now there are many, many places in our world that are hurting and disturbing and sad, that we know, despite all of those appearances, that divine love is enfolding each one of us on planet Earth, and that divine order is taking place. And so it is. Thank you, God.
I have a dream, a song to sing, to help me cope with anything. If you see the wonder of a fairy tale, you can take the future, even if you fail. I believe in angels, something good in everything I see. I believe in angels when I know the time is right for me. I'll cross the stream. I have a dream. I have a dream, a fantasy to help me through reality. And my destination makes it worth the while, pushing through the darkness, still another mile. I believe in angels, something good in everything I see. I believe in angels when I know the time is right for me. Across the stream, I have a dream. Across the stream, I have a dream. I have a dream. Across the stream, I have a dream. Thank you.
Thank you. And another wonderful thing about that musical selection is that Angelus Arian's name, Angelus, means angels. So once again, Michael works on all kinds of levels, including the wonderful level of Beyond the Veil. You may not have known that, but I thought that was pretty cool when I realized the lyrics. So I don't sing because I'm happy. I'm happy because I sing. Those are the words of William James, and they encapsulate a philosophy that is both timeless and timely. For in those words, we can find wisdom for knowing how to navigate these uncertain days that we're experiencing today. And as you know, if you have been here at USC this year, and most of you have been, the theme I'm using for 2020 is based on the book, The Fourfold Way, Walking the Path of the Warrior, Teacher, Healer, and Visionary, by cultural anthropologist and my former teacher and mentor, the late Angelus Arian. And as you know, if you have been here, I chose this theme last year because 2020 is an election year, and it seemed like a very good year to be studying these 4 archetypes, the warrior or the leader, the teacher, the healer, and the visionary. And not only has it been good materials to look at during an election year, it also has proven to be perfect material in which to navigate a global pandemic and racial injustice. In the first quarter of the year, we looked at the way of the warrior or the way of the leader, which is associated with winter. During the second quarter, we looked at the way of the healer, which is associated with spring. And today we are closing out the third quarter of the year with a last look at the way of the visionary, which is associated with summer. And I want to start by giving you a quick refresher on what we have learned about the way of the visionary. The visionary archetype supports the principle of telling the truth without blame or judgment, acting from our authentic self, knowing and communicating our creative purpose and life dream, telling the truth without blame or judgment. These are the foundation of the way of the visionary. When we follow the way of the visionary, we are able to make the truth visible. As Angelus writes, all cultures respect the importance of vision and its capacity to magnetize or open up the creative spirit. The archetype of the visionary is familiar to us all as that sometimes quiet but relentless reminder not to forget our life dream or purpose. She goes on to say that it is important to bring one's creative spirit, life dream, or purpose to earth. Not to do so precludes healing from coming into our family and our professional lives. Healing because it's believed that each one of us brings our own brand of original medicine into the world. Our work, she writes, is to come fully forward with our gifts, talents, and resources, and to meet our tests and challenges. Now, can you think of a better time to come forward with our gifts, our talents, and our resources, and to meet our tests and challenges? The last time we looked at this archetype, we looked at 4 ways of seeing: intuition, perception, insight, and vision. Angelus taught that many indigenous cultures recognize that intuition is the source that sparks external seeing or perception, internal viewing or insight, and holistic seeing or vision. For these societies, paying attention to these modes of seeing is a way to honor the sacred. So everything we're looking at is a form of spiritual practice. We also looked at the ways that can get in, or the things that can get in the way of fully expressing our inner visionary. And those included the 3 major mechanisms of self-denial: the false self-system, self-abandonment, and projection. So now we come to the end of this quarter and our look at the way of the visionary. But today, we're going to look at what helps to strengthen our inner visionary. Today, we're going to be looking at the empowerment tools of the visionary They include singing, which is why you've already noticed this as a theme this morning. And it's why I opened with a quotation about singing. Bell work, meditation, contemplation, and prayer, and vision quests. Now, singing is important because Angelus taught that all cultures bring voice into the world through songs, chants, and storytellings. That those are all ways of staying inside their sacred hoop. And she writes that among indigenous cultures, there is a belief that our favorite songs are our power songs. So she asks a question that I'll ask you to think about now. Consider your own favorite songs. They are connected to the creative aspects of who you are and reveal important aspects of your own authenticity. It is also believed that the most powerful song is the one that you create with your own words and your own melody, which is why I was so delighted to see that Michael had read the material and came up with that suggestion on his own. It's a very powerful thing to create your own power song. Now, he most likely didn't have any trouble doing that, but it is a good practice to try, to write your own power song and to include your own name. Why do we do that? Because Angelus wrote, working with the voice in any way, whether it be singing, chanting, sounding, or voice induction work, feeds the essence of who we are. And moreover, liturgical music, music that's used in sacred ceremony, reminds us that the three sacred sounds found in all sacred music are directly related to the three universal life forces: dynamism, magnetism, and integration. And she goes in the book on a long explanation of the Om sound and how the Om contains these three forces of dynamism, magnetism, and integration. And just a little fun fact about me, when I was getting married and I was trying to decide whether or not to include my maiden name or not, I had somebody say, your name, Oman, contains the Om sound. I don't think you should get rid of it. And I thought that was kind of an interesting thought. There were other reasons why I decided to keep it, but that was one that was mentioned to me because it contains this life energy, the life energy of the Om. Now, Angelus explained these forces this way. She said, in order to begin any creative project, the dynamic aspect of our nature must first generate the project. And then our magnetic nature is the life force that pulls new opportunities toward us to enhance and further the project. And finally, it is the integrative energy that synthesizes and produces the actual creative project or product. So those are the three energies involved in creation. Bell work comes into play because in most cultures, the musical instrument that is equated with spirituality or calling people together is the bell. Archetypally, Angelus wrote, the bell serves as a sonic voice that calls us back to remember our authentic purpose or calling. And cross-culturally, the bell is a way to connect us to the spiritual aspects of ourselves. So we will be doing our guided meditation today to the sound of bells. Meditation, contemplation, and prayer, as you already know, are gateways and opportunities for getting in touch with the greater being that we are. Meditation might be thought of, Angelus says, as a three-doored portal, that it accesses symbols, memories, and associations. It functions as a bridge between the outer and inner worlds. and it reveals the divine creature that we are. Prayer can be the vehicle for creatively visualizing desired experiences and outcomes, as we all know from Unity's teaching of affirmative prayer. So I got a real kick out of, reaccessing this material 25 years after, I first became introduced to it, and realizing the affinity that it has with Unity tools, specifically Unity's form of affirmative prayer, totally compatible with what Angelus is defining as what prayer is. And she found out that in most, societies, cross-culturally, prayer is a way of setting sacred intention. And that's what she's saying here. It's a very important tool of the visionary. She goes on to say, directed prayer involves intention, and non-directed prayer, so the prayer where we're not setting sacred intention, but we're more in the posture of thy will be done, acceptance, that involves trust. And she said, combining both allows us to fully access our vision and to connect to our own faith and to trust the mystery of who we are. Speaking of trust, has anybody here been on a vision quest? I'm going to go to gallery view real quick and see if any of you hold up your hands. Have any of you been on a vision quest, an extended period in nature? I had to be on a vision quest when I studied with her. That was a requirement of being in her class, was to go on a vision quest. And since I studied with her for 3 years, I went on 3 vision quests. And what she had us do is go out in nature. Granted, we were a community and we were safe because she had people kind of spying on us, but we couldn't be in view of any other tent. And yay, Leslie Geethers is telling me that she also went on 3 because she studied with Angelus as well. And Ethel is saying that her daughter went on a vision quest when she was in high school. So these people know that it's a very powerful time. You're completely alone. When I did it as part of Angelus's training, did not eat or drink. Actually, I take that back. I did drink. It was like a protein drink of maple syrup, cayenne pepper, and lemon juice. It was just a way to keep, the basic life functions going, but no food. 3 days in nature, 3 days and nights. And it's a powerful, powerful experience that I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to do, because I can pretty much guarantee that on my own, I probably wouldn't have made that opportunity for myself. But of course, there are ways of adapting a vision quest so it is comfortable for you. And this is an empowerment tool of the visionary because of the belief that any solitary time spent in nature for the purposes of reflection and guidance reawakens us to our own life purpose and remembering the original medicine that is ours to offer all creatures and human beings. And I love that addition of all creatures. So many indigenous cultures use the vision quest for purposes of revisioning, reclaiming, and remembering one's life dream or creative spirit. And as I was thinking about this, I thought, it is kind of interesting to think of our sheltering in place as an opportunity for a vision quest of sorts, because it is a time where we can really reflect on what our life is about and what we want our life to be about, and to revision what we want our lives and our institutions to be like when we get back to a more normal living situation. But I do want to say part of the power of vision questing is that it takes place in nature. because that is another important tool of the visionary, spending time in nature. So if you're intrigued by this idea of vision questing and you're wondering how you might be able to adapt it in some way to your life right now, you could use a meditation form that is actually the meditation form of the visionary, and that is walking meditation. In all 4 archetypes, there's a particular type of meditation that Angelus prescribes to really embody that particular archetype. And the meditation form for the visionary is walking meditation. So that takes you out into nature, and you could use that very intentionally as a form to, or as a, as a method of doing your own form of vision quest during this time of sheltering in place. So finally, I want to leave you with some additional practices that will help you to develop your inner visionary. And these are all from Angelus's book. One is to spend time each day honoring your dreams by recording them in a dream journal. Now, when Angelus writes about this, she is referring specifically to the dreams we have at night, but you could also have a vision journal. You could start during this time an envisioning journal of all that you hope to do with your life, both now and also as we start to make the transition into a more normal lifestyle. Make the commitment to practice truth-telling on a daily basis. And remember, the visionary's truth-telling is about telling the truth without blame or judgment. Spend at least 15 minutes each day singing, humming, or chanting. Michael started us off on such a great note, so to speak, by having that create your own chant be the very first thing we did this morning, and we could all continue that. Set aside some time each season to review your goals and how they support and further your life dream and vision. And as you know, we're coming up on the fall equinox, so that could be a perfect time to review your life dreams and visions. At least twice a year, Angelus advises spending some extended time alone in nature to revision, redream, and reflect. So that would be more than, say, a walking meditation. It would be actually to go out in nature for a half day, a day, or longer. Consciously extend prayer or nonverbal support to others. That's something that we do every Sunday during our time of communal prayer. Spend quiet time each day listening to your intuition and noticing and observing the sources of inspiration in your life. Such a wonderful piece of advice, especially for right now when it's very easy to feel discouraged, frightened, uncertain. So this idea of consciously looking for sources of inspiration in your life, I think is a very useful one, especially for these times right now. So may we all develop our inner visionary. May we all remember that the world is in need of our original medicine, our own unique gifts and talents. And may we commit to bringing it forward. And so it is. Thank you, God. So I am going to set up my bell music here for our guided meditation. And these are going to be a set of reflection questions that will take you deeper into this archetype of the visionary. So I invite you to lean back wherever you are, whether it's a chair, your couch, a headboard. Just lean back and feel yourself being held as you are always held by the divine. And I invite you to open your heart, open the portals of intuition and vision to reflect on these questions that will help us to expand the full expression of our inner visionary. So the first question is, where in my life have I brought forward the creative aspects of who I am? What is my original medicine, my gifts and talents, that is nowhere else duplicated? What is my original medicine? So I am getting wonderful direction that my bells are too loud, so I'm turning down my bells. Thank you for that feedback. We did a sound check, but they still did sound too loud. So let me repeat that first question. Where in my life have I brought forward the creative aspects of who I am? What is my original medicine, my gifts and talents that is nowhere else duplicated? And the second question is, what spiritual paths, ideas, and practices have I engaged in? And here's an interesting thought. If I were to write a spiritual biography, what would it contain? What was my first mystical or numinous experience? So I'm going to read those in the opposite sequence. What was my first mystical or numinous experience? If I were to write a spiritual biography, what would it contain? And what spiritual paths, ideas, and practices have I engaged in? And finally, what forms of prayer, meditation, or contemplation do I use for guidance? Where do I look for guidance? And what practices connect me to my inner life? And again, that was what forms of prayer, meditation, or contemplation do I use for guidance? Where do I look for guidance? And what practices connect me to my inner life? Just take a few moments to listen to what your inner guidance is telling you now, to what Spirit is whispering to you, and know that you are safe and you are loved, that you are always held by the divine. Know that you are precious, that your life is precious, that original medicine is yours, and that you make a needed contribution to the whole. And now, having been inside your inner sanctuary, knowing that you can return to that place at any time you choose, and that you can return to these reflection questions at any time you choose, begin to gently bring your awareness back to the room that you're in, to this place and time. Allow yourself to stretch, beginning with your fingers and your feet. Take a few deep breaths. And when you're ready, come back to waking awareness and open your eyes. So here at Unity Spiritual Center, we are an ocean of love. Here at Unity Spiritual Center, we have an inspiring vision, speaking of vision, an exciting mission, and compelling values by which we strive to live. Our vision is centered in God. We co-create a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Our mission is we are a creative, joy-filled spiritual community dedicated to healing, inspiring, and transforming the lives of all people through prayer, education, and love. And our values are, we are spirit-led, generous with resources, inclusive, joyously creative, and guided by integrity. And feeling inspired by our vision, mission, and values, feeling enriched by what we've experienced here today together and what we will continue to experience as we move into our town hall meeting in a few minutes. Let us take time now to be a channel for enrichment through our generous tithes and love offerings. As Michael shares another beautiful song, please do take that time to write out a check to USC or to log on to our website to make a donation online. Jerry has just put that link in the chat, so all you have to do is click on it. I want to thank all of those of you who have remembered that our expenses do continue during this time. And if you have not yet been able to make a donation, I hope that you will feel called to do so as we continue to find new ways of staying connected to each other. So let us take time now to bless our tithes and our love offerings, holding them either literally or metaphorically in our hands next to our hearts as we say our offertory prayer. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
To thine own self be true. This is a promise to you, to do what's right and face the fight. To thine own self be true. Make the commitment, promise the vow. Where there's a will, there's a way. Give up your word, pledge your consent. You can renew every day. To your own self be true. This is a promise to you, to do what's right and face the fight. To thine own self be true. Make the agreement and take the oath. Remember the words that you say. Swear on your honor, your obligation. This is always a piper to pay. To your own self be true. This is a promise to you, to do what's right and face the fight. To thine own self be true. To your own self be true.
Thank you, Michael.
Welcome.
You you have just been on it today. You're always on it, but this was a really effective day for your music. So I want to thank you so much for that. And I want to invite everyone to say our offertory prayer, our blessing together. Spirit of the living God, bless the acts of our hands, our minds, our hearts. May everything offered here at Unity Spiritual Center be a reflection of all that is good within us. Grant us the courage to patiently listen for the stirring of your presence. Enliven our spirits with humor. Fill us with reverence for one another and gratitude for our diversity. May unity, beauty, and truth be the fruit of all we do. And so it is. Amen. So I have a few announcements here. One extremely important one. I hope that you will plan to join us in about 5 minutes for our Zoom town hall meeting. This is the day we would have been doing our town hall meeting following the service, and we are not going to let the pandemic stop us. So we are going to be making some very important announcements during our town hall meeting. We also, as always, want to hear your suggestions and ideas. So please do plan on staying with us. Same link. You don't have to go anywhere or do anything else. Just stay with us, and we will transition into our town hall meeting in about 5 minutes. I want to let you know that we are starting a new book study. Here is your visual aid. It is Transitions by William Bridges. And I just want to read you a little bit on the back. It says it was the first book to explore the underlying and universal pattern of transition, recently named one of the 50 most important self-help books of all time. It remains the essential guide for coping with the inevitable changes in life. Transitions by William Bridges. Seems like a good time to read a book about transitions, huh? And changes. So we will be starting our book club, our book study, on Zoom this coming Wednesday at 4 o'clock. It's going to run for 7 sessions this time. So it'll be starting on September 16th, this Wednesday, and going through all Wednesdays through October, ending on October 28th. Now, I understand that a number of you cannot make that time, and I want to invite you to consider creating your own small group to discuss the material. We'll be talking about this. I'm going to be doing some lessons about it, and there's no reason why you could not start your own Zoom study group if you feel called to meet with people to discuss it. So I just want to plant that seed for you, so you will consider doing that. I also want to ask you, and I'm going to go to gallery view here to take a look. You know, every year I have, for the last 4 years, this will be the 5th, I have done a communal art project using birdhouses, and we auctioned them off as a fundraiser. But I would like to see if people are still feeling called to do that, because I can figure out a way to get you the materials if you want to use this pandemic time to be creative and work on another birdhouse. It would be our 5th, as I said, our 5th year doing this. So if you would like to do that, just wave your hand at the webcam. I see a no on chat. I'm not seeing a lot of waving hands. Okay, so looks like we will not be doing our birdhouse project this year. And I am glad I asked before I ordered them. All right, thank you for that. And if you have other ideas, then you can let me know that as well. Looks like Josephine just said something about a virtual art piece, so we'll figure something out. And I want to remind you that I am still doing the guided meditations and the daily word readings on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. They're always at noon. They use the old link that you'll also find in your newsletter. If you just scroll down in the newsletter after the one that you used to get here today, you'll find the link that's going to be used both for our daily word meditations and also for our study class. As you know, we've got stuff up on YouTube, and we're active on social media. So if you feel called to, please do check those other sources of information and resources. And I'm going to scroll and see if we've got our kids with us. I see Alex. Hey, Alex, great to see you. And let's see if Alonso and Santiago are coming. Saying yes, they're coming. But in the meantime, we're going to look at Alex because we missed you. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There they are. Okay, so we've got all our boys with us, and let us bless them. We love you. We bless you.
Bless you.
We appreciate
you.
And we behold the presence of God in you empowering you to do great things. Let's sing our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
So as we go forward into the day, into our meeting, and into a new week, let us remember that we are so important to the whole, that each one of us has a part to play. Each one of us was born with original medicine and gifts and talents that we can use to help heal the world. And if ever we doubt our own capacities, let us remember the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Wherever I am, God is. And all is well. Thank you, God. Thank all of you for joining us for our service. And as I said, please do stay on this link. Feel free to get a cup of coffee, take a short break. I'm going to, but we will be back in 3 minutes for our town hall meeting. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.